Thanks, Julie. Indeed, I will be talking about some opportunities that we can use as UTA members to fund our smart city deployments. I will be mainly focusing on the opportunities from the European Commission side, and which is a framework very open to international collaboration. Actually, this is explicitly described in the work program or in the overall framework, that they know, I mean, the European Commission knows that we have many opportunities that we can use to tackle the global challenges, the challenges that affect us all, such as the one that we are currently living actually, in addition to energy, climate change, or security challenges, can only be solved at the international level. And Europe indeed offers exceptional opportunities to all potential partners from all around the world to collaborate within this European teams. Not so many people knows around the world except Europe, but they actually can get funding from those European programs. So they are in the work programs in H2020, and most probably in the following one, in the Horizon Europe, there will be as well. There are some particular focused collaboration in some countries, indeed, but not only. So actually, there are different categories that I will be explaining in the following slide. That all of these countries, the researchers, the SMEs, the companies, that they can, if they have some innovation to bring that tackles the global challenges, they can get this funding. So Horizon 2020 that has been running between 2014 and nowadays is the last, let's say, months, which had this enormous budget of 75 billion euros. Now will be followed up by a new program that will start from January next year, 2021, in a month actually, that will also run for 7 years. That has approximately a budget of 85 billion euros. And we expect that the challenges for sure will be probably some commonalities we will be having with Horizon 2020, but also we will be having some new challenges like in particular, climate challenge, for instance. So to give you an idea on indeed which type of countries, nations can get funding, as you know, the European Union member states, which was 28, but nowadays it's like, let's say, 27 European Union member states can get automatically eligible for funding. There are a couple of associated countries like Iceland, Norway, Serbia, Turkey, Israel, that they can also get funding automatically eligible for the funding of those projects. Plus, in addition to more than 100 developing countries that you can have the whole list from all around the world, from Africa, from South America, from Asia, they can also get automatically, they can be automatically eligible for funding. And then we have not automatically eligible for funding, but there are some bilateral agreements with the European Commission. In particular, we see many opportunities with Japan, Korea. In particular, you will be seeing some examples also in my slides, in addition to the other ones like Argentina, Brazil, Canada, India, USA, Morocco, etc. In addition to these bilateral agreements, there are also some of the work programs based on some complementarity that European Commission sees. They also explicitly identify some of those countries in the relevant work programs and call for projects. In addition to all these, there are in some cases participation of non-EU partners can be justified in the project if what they bring is kind of a unique value and it is essential for the execution of the project. So these are the opportunities indeed, which is quite large and interesting in my opinion, that can be used to fund the smart city deployments. In order to give you a bit more concrete examples, so in which we have been involved indeed, and those projects were kind of the core of the Urban Technology Alliance. So we have seen in particular from 5G, IoT, smart cities, a couple of projects that this is not the complete list. This is the projects in which I have been involved, or my institution, in my former institution that have been involved. In particular, I've been personally involved in the smart city related projects. A couple of examples from these two, to give you an example of which type of partners they have been involved. Like, you know, in 5G, Pagoda was a EU-Japan project on 5G, in which, as you see, there was KDDI, Hitachi, NEC from Europe, from Japan, and then there was like Orange, Fraunhofer, and UDG, Ericsson. They were all kind of large groups that they could get funding for making 5G deployments. Similarly, with Korea, SK Telecom, KT-SAT, and also from Europe, Thales Alenia, and some other partners have been involved in those 5G related projects. And that's coming the smart city projects in which we have been involved with a couple of UTA partners that were the kind of the source of these the UTA that allowed us actually being now together, kind of following up, making more sustainable what we have started to do with our partners there. This was a project in which indeed we had Grenoble, Fujisawa City, Bristol, Tsukuba cities with which we have performed deployment project. Similarly, we had another project festival that involved in several cities like Santander, for instance, from the EU side, and from Japan side, we have been also doing some deployments in some train stations, for instance, in the Osaka region. And also we were using the living labs from Europe. It was the Tuba, and from Japan was the lab. So actually today, in the second session, you will have a presentation from Keisuke Inami, which is from the lab, actually Knowledge Capital, that will be presenting a bit their activities. And for the Big Cloud T project that I mentioned, we will be having a presentation from Takuro. I guess he will be maybe mentioning it a bit during his presentation. We will be having also MSEC project, for instance. It was kind of the follow-up of the Big Cloud 2 project. That there will be also presentation today. The Center project, another EU Korea project in which we have been involved. In addition to this, a former project, WISA UT, which was a pilot on smart ski resort. We have conducted this during the Winter Olympic Games in Korea in 2018 with an ecosystem in Grenoble and another ecosystem in the Olympic Games. We have been doing a joint deployment, cross-border deployment during this project. So we had quite interesting number of joint realization. So this is the Center project indeed. Another project on cloud to edge continuum, use cases from the smart cities, smart warehouse, smart construction sites, smart office domains. And as you see here, a couple of important Korean and European actors involved. So which I like a lot. I mean, in this project is one of the reasons why I have been involved, is that we managed to integrate the partner asset for common objectives, for common cross-border pilots. As you see, these two examples in the EU-Japan project and in EU Korea project, you know, the assets, the enablers from each of those different cultures, different companies, different countries have been integrated for common objectives for these cross-border pilots. This is something which is extremely rich, because we are learning from the expertise of each other, and we are kind of complementing the competences that we have in those consortia. Another example, EUUS Collaboration. There are actually a couple of interesting ones as well. In particular, recently, this NGI Atlantic and NGI Explorers. So NGI Atlantic, it also funds collaboration work with US partners, and NGI Explorers also funds EU researchers, in particular, going to Japan, to US to make some exploration of a couple of months. Actually, one of the work that will be presented today by Martin Serrano is indeed, he will be presenting his work he has been doing in US with NIST in the context of this funding program. Yeah, so these were kind of most of them, they were kind of in the H2020 framework. I have shown you some recent ones, for instance, for the EUUS one, and currently, which is still, let's say, can be an opportunity for us, is indeed there's a running call for projects in the being part of the European Green Deal, which has a large budget of 1 billion euros actually, and the objective is to identify projects that can respond to current environmental challenges from different perspectives, from the city's perspective, from the farming perspective, from mobility perspective, industry perspective, etc. So there are quite interesting number of opportunities that I will be just showing you very briefly. So they have identified these 11 areas: the increasing climate ambition, clean, affordable, secure energy, industry for clean and circular economy, energy and resource efficient buildings, sustainable mobility, farm to fork ecosystems and biodiversity, zero pollution, toxic-free environments, and some horizontal ones, how to strengthen the knowledge, our knowledge in support of the European Green Deal, how to empower citizens for the transition towards a climate neutral, sustainable Europe, and this international collaboration, in particular with Africa. So indeed, there are here some concrete numbers. I see that I have a couple of minutes more, so I can maybe explain you a bit which is available. And if you see, here's the open call for collaboration. So if you see any call that can be of interest to you, just contact us, and we can. In some of those topics, we are actually already working with the UTA members. So UTA will be an important active actor of this initiative. So let us know if you believe that you can bring value, you can bring technical or non-technical assets to the projects. We would be happy to discuss. So interesting calls here, for instance, which are kind of related to the urban environments, the preventing and fighting wildfires. So there is a kind of interesting opportunity there to use ICT, in particular IoT, or image processing with the satellite images, or using drones to fight against the wildfires, which is a quite important problem in Europe. Another one is the towards climate neutral and social innovative cities, which will be kind of providing a one-stop shop to accompany the cities for their climate neutral transformation. There will be, on top of this project, there will be further open calls to invite cities to use this one-stop shop and to follow the recommendations that we will be giving, and they will get funded for that, to organize pilots to validate their plan of going to a climate neutral city. And then some other opportunities for how to help citizens to be more climate aware. Let's say how to increase their awareness, how they make them more sensible to the climate. Some more energy-related calls in the area too. There's an interesting call also on the deployment of circular economy, which is an important, let's say, enabler for this climate neutrality. Another related topic is on the smart buildings for more energy efficiency, not only zero emission buildings, but also energy positive buildings. And also sustainable smart mobility, green airports and ports. So there are also interesting number of projects that can be funded here, how to enable the ports and airports as more sustainable, providing more sustainable mobility. So maybe last ones is, the farm to fork, how to test and demonstrate to the high impact innovations to address food system challenges, and biodiversity ecosystem services towards zero pollution, toxic free environment. So they are kind of more horizontal type of projects, which are maybe a bit less related to the urban areas, but still there can be some opportunities that can come here. And finally, this is the most, let's say, also horizontal level, where we talk about European research infrastructures, and in particular, there's a maybe can be relevant for some of the partners towards a digital twin of the oceans. And lately, this horizontal level where we talk about the empowering citizens for the transition towards a climate neutral, sustainable Europe. So how to provide them incentives, applications that they can be engaged in this climate neutral transformation. And there are some opportunities also to accelerate the green transition with the African countries. So yes, my time is up. So if you're interested in collaborating, as I mentioned, please let us know, and we can guide you. We can engage you with us to respond to some of those calls together. Thank you very much.